Star Ocean, the second story R. I just completed this game yesterday. It's been a 3 week odyssey for me playing this game, and I enjoyed every second that I got to play this game. I am a massive JRPG fan. I love the genre. There's nothing more relaxing and soothing to me than having your headphones on, listening to some music, and just level grinding and getting OP and just knocking out these bosses and monsters. To me, that is why I just absolutely fell in love with the JRPG genre. Now, Star Ocean is a franchise that is really popular, but I never played Star Ocean before until this year, until Star Ocean The Divine Forces came out. And I played that on the PS5, played it for a couple hours, and it just didn't connect with me personally. But I wanted to get back into this franchise because Star Ocean has been around for a very, very long time. Well, Square Enix decided, hey, we're going to take Star Ocean, the second story, and we're going to remake it on the PlayStation platforms and Nintendo Switch and Steam and all that. And I picked up the Nintendo Switch copy because I like playing my JRPGs on the go. I like being able to play it on a big screen, go ahead and undock it and bring it to whether I'm going like work or a trip or something, and I can just play and level grind at my own freedom. And I really enjoyed that. And recently I just went on my vacation slash honeymoon where I brought Star Ocean with me on the Nintendo Switch, and I did most of my level grinding when I had some free time in the cabin. And I just fell in love with this game so much. I was highly recommending it to everybody that would listen. I recommended it to my brother. I'm like, hey, this is such a fantastic game. The story itself is so one note, but that is part of its charm, where you have this fish out of the water going on this planet. He meets a girl, they go on this adventure, and things start to unravel as you progress through this story. And I like the simplicity of it. Sometimes you don't need all these crazy things going on in your JRPG. I look at something like Final Fantasy 16 that came out this year, and although I think the game is fine for what it is, it didn't deliver in the aspect that I wanted Final Fantasy to deliver on, or a JRPG in that matter. And the story was so convoluted by the end of it, you just kind of looked at it like, man, I want something simpler. I want something to kind of go back to basics. And to me, Star Ocean Second Story R was that palate cleanser of Final Fantasy 16. It's not done in the 2D HD style like something like Octopath Traveler or Live Alive, but it's done in something that's very, very similar. It has like 3D backgrounds, but your characters are still like 2D sprites, and they move around in the 3D atmosphere. And I enjoyed that. I like that whole aesthetic. And I'm like beating the drum of Square Enix, please go back and do some of your most popular JRPGs this way, whether it's the HD 2D or in the same fashion as Star Ocean's Second Story. Go back and do like Final Fantasies 1 through 16. Do Final Fantasy 7 through 9. Go back and do 1 through 9 of Final Fantasy. Give them voice acting. Do it in HD 2D. Do it in 3D. You can do 1 through 6 in 2D HD with voice acting, and then do 7 through 9 with the Star Ocean with the whole 2D plus the 3D rendered background. It would work so good. And let's not forget popular games like Chrono Trigger that a lot of people want to see get remade. So I'm glad that Square Enix is dipping its toe in this format. I really enjoy that. I have played and enjoyed every one of their 2D HD, with the exception of Triangle Strategy that I still haven't got my hand on. Like, I love both Octopath Traveler games. Live Alive was one of my favorite games of the year it was released, and I'm really enjoying playing Star Ocean. And I beat the game yesterday, and I was just like smiling from ear to ear just playing this game. Also, to me, Star Ocean brings back the classic JRPG, where you go back to like the traditional level up system. It's a action JRPG, so it's not turn-based. You actually are free to move around. You target an enemy, you go into the enemy zone, and you're free to walk around and attack however you want. So it's not a turn-based JRPG, but I enjoyed that as well because it kept you engaged into the battle. And I liked how mostly I was able to interact with all these different characters from this world and kind of discover not only this world, but discover who Claude was as a character. And you see the growth of this character from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, and you really see how Claude develops. And I really like how Reyna and Claude develop together, and that these two, the bond that they share is really the heart and the glue that holds this game together. I really enjoyed everything about this game. Yes, the voice acting, not the best. I'm going to be honest with you. Voice acting is kind of monotone, kind of one note, kind of like early 90s voice acting that we got in video games, but it kind of has a charm. If you can look past the emotionless voice acting, the gameplay itself will keep you engaged enough to want to keep going back to it. Star Ocean's Second Story R, I highly recommend it. It's in my top 5 to 10 games of the year. I really enjoyed this game. I had a fantastic time playing it. I hope they go back, redo some other Star Ocean games, go back and do Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger. I think there's a big well of games that Square Enix can tackle that I think is just going to be right for the picking, and I think they need to capitalize it. I believe the next one is going to be Dragon Quest III being remade in a 2D HD. I can't wait for that as well. So I highly recommend this game. Have you guys played it though? Have you guys picked up Star Ocean Second Story R? Are you interested in it now after the review? Be sure to leave those comments in the comment box below. Tell me what you guys think. And until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms, and thank you for watching.